Hey, what's good, everybody? Shout out to my YouTube land people out there. Yes, welcome back to the channel. It is really good to be back. Your boy has been very busy, but I got three. Yes, not one, not two, but three. The triple threat. I got three uploads for you all today. So I have this one, then I'm gonna play some Bully and some, what is that? Kingdom Hearts. Yes, it's good to be back. As I mentioned before, just been busy, but got some time today, so I'm definitely gonna give you guys some love. So, yeah. So as far as for this video, I just wanted to say that I didn't really, my top 10 list. For the most part, I did get everything that I wanted to say out for the most part. Yeah, and really, I just want to be very clear about this. As I mentioned in the last video, this is a very peaceful, calm channel. I don't want to give off any any bad or negative energy. That's not what I'm about. And I hope anybody who's listening, I hope you come here, you have a good time, maybe have a laugh or two, and you just vibe out, and you can listen and watch and all that good stuff. But first and foremost, I hope you all have a good time whenever you tune into my channel, because that's what it's all about, peace, love, and positivity. But of course, whenever you mention anything about sports, it could get very tricky and divisive and stuff like that. But I try to be as objective as possible. And what I will say is about anybody's top 10, which is, I think, is the beauty of sports. That a lot of people's top 10s are different. You may have a few players here and there who are in the majority of people's opinion of being in the top 10. And like I said, I try to look at things very objectively. Do I have my biases? I would say I do. But, for the most part, I try to be objective, And like I said, I'm not, if some people consider Michael Jordan, me personally, yes, I do think that Michael Jordan is the best. Of course, that's hard to prove because he's never went up against everybody. But when you take into account of the era that he played in and how they had some of the greatest players to play of all time, all that good stuff, you can tune into the first video to hear my full breakdown. But with everything considered about Michael Jordan, yes, his everything about him, he just stands out above the rest, And like I said, some people, majority of people may consider Michael Jordan the best. Some may say Kareem. Hell, some may even say LeBron James. And I'm not against that. Everybody is, they have a right to their opinion. If you think LeBron is the best, by all means, there's, nothing wrong with that. If you think Kobe Bryant's the best, nothing wrong with that. If you think Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Tim Duncan, whoever you have as your number one, and going on down the list, there's no issue with that. It is what it is. Everybody's list is different. And like I said, I think that's the beauty of basketball, and how you can have differences of opinions, and it's fun. It's fun to open up dialogue like that, and I don't really take it too serious. Of course, as I did mention in the previous video, I don't have LeBron James in my top 10, and if you don't like that, then it is what it is. I have my own reasons of why, mainly because he doesn't get criticized for a lot of the things that he does. I don't like the fact that he went to join up with Dwayne Wade on Miami, and nobody considers that a hit on his legacy. And people try to make it out that Dwayne Wade was a bum and he needed LeBron and stuff like that, and all kind of nonsense. I don't agree with none of that stuff. Of course, is LeBron James one of the greatest players to ever play? I mean, one might can see that. He's definitely one of the most gifted athletically, and him not being hurt, him being kind of an Iron Man and stuff like that. But then again, like I said, that it just depends on what your preference is. Some people may not like Larry Bird because he's not really athletic. Not to say that I mean, his IQ for the game makes up for the fact that he's not really athletic. You know what I'm saying? Even with like Magic Johnson, right? He wasn't the most outstanding defender. I think he might have led the league in steals maybe a few times, but Magic Johnson is not known for his defense. But what offsets that is that he's a great leader, and he can get everybody involved, and he's a great teammate. So I think all of that can kind of overcome and overshadow him not being particularly good on defense. Just things like that. So like I said, it depends on your preference. I'm not mad at if you think certain players are over certain players. It is what it is. But with that being said, I did have a lot of views on that last video, so I hope you all enjoyed that. This is kind of like a part 2 to that in a way, but I definitely wanted to just clarify a few things. Like I said, everybody's list is going to be different. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to come in here and say that I don't know basketball, you're more than welcome to. That's fine. I don't really care about little small things like that. It is what it is, But like I said, with LeBron, I do think he's overrated. I think Kobe is overrated to a certain extent. But I think for the most part, everything kind of balances out with Kobe as far as his career. And another thing, just a quick thing to mention about Kobe Bryant. And see, this is also a really tough thing about evaluating players and talent. See, for the most part, right, guys don't really, when players are entering the NBA, unlike high school and college, they really don't have any influence or control over where they go. And the reason why that's such a big deal is because when it comes to guys like Kobe, a lot of people hold, which is it's a legit argument, but a lot of people hold that, oh well, when Shaq and Kobe played, Shaq was the main guy, and I agree with that. You will not get any disagreement from me there. I do think that Shaq's impact on the team and his impact in the league, he was definitely the best player when him and Kobe Bryant played together. I believe that. That's why I have Shaq over Kobe, because of when they played together, Shaq was really the main option. And that's a fair point. Like I said, you're not gonna get any argument from me there. But what gets lost in translation is that Kobe Bryant was not fortunate enough, like a LeBron James, like a Larry Bird, like a I guess you could say Magic, but not really, because he had Kareem. I'm trying to think of certain players. Well, like I said, like those two, he wasn't he wasn't fortunate to come into an organization that really hasn't had recent success and be able to turn the franchise around by himself. When he arrived in LA, of course Shaq just had arrived in LA as well, but they utilized Shaq a lot more. He was already an established veteran, and then he became very dominant, and it took some time for Kobe Bryant and as well as some of the other role players to develop. It's taken them some time, so that was kind of the perfect storm. But my point is that in regards to, especially whenever you argue Kobe versus LeBron, one thing that has to be mentioned, which is facts, is that Kobe Bryant Like I said, he unfortunately didn't come into a situation where he was really the main option. He didn't become the main option until years later, at least 10 years later. So when you think about that, right, since LeBron has really come into the league, he's had pretty much his whole career of being able to be the main option. With Kobe, besides Shaq, I would say what's that? Maybe about 7 or 8 years, and then another 2 or 3. With playing with guys like Kwame Brown, Vlade Divac. I mean, that mid 2000s Lakers team when Shaq left, they really didn't have a really good roster. But more importantly, like I said, they needed some time. The Lakers and Kobe, they needed some time to really put a good team around him. Not saying it has to be a super team, but a good team with some good supporting pieces that complement Kobe's his play on the court. So with Gasol, that was like a perfect pairing. Big guy who could get a lot of rebounds, but the only thing with Gasol is that he wasn't mentally tough. And I think Kobe really instilled a lot of mental toughness into Pau Gasol. And, watching the finals back in 2008 when Gasol first got there, yeah, they were rolling on their way to the finals. But as soon as they got to the finals, playing up against Kevin Garnett, Gasol, I don't think he's never really went up against that type of energy. Garnett was just on a different level as far as intensity, and he couldn't match that. Not at all. I mean, to me, I think Gasol got outplayed. Not only statistically, but mentally, he got outplayed by Kevin Garnett in the finals. Now, am I gonna blame Gasol fully? Absolutely not, because I don't believe in that. I don't, even though he has a piece to blame, I put most of it on Kobe Bryant and of course Phil Jackson. And that's my point. If you want to be the best player, you want to be recognized as that, you're gonna have to be criticized when your team loses. There's no way around that. And that's the thing that I don't like how the media portrays LeBron James, is that it's like he's at no fault whenever the team loses. And even with this year, he has not been playing defense. I mean, he hasn't been playing defense since Miami. But more importantly, especially this season, he just has not been playing any kind of defense at all. And I think that has to be looked at. But that has to be criticized. You understand what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. But, Kobe wasn't fortunate to come into a situation where he could be the main option and kind of dictate how the franchise is going to go. He wasn't fortunate with that. But once he had an opportunity to have the team be catered around his skill set, then that's when you saw Kobe Bryant win. So I think that does have to be looked at, that he came into a situation where, the team was built around Shaq, and then once Shaq left, they needed some years to build a team around Kobe, and once they had the team ready, that's when he started leading his team to win a championship. So that has to be looked at. But back to my main thing. Regardless if whoever you have as your number one, that's your preference. There's no doubt that there's been some great talent in the NBA through the years. And when you take into account the eras and stuff like that, you're gonna have some interesting debates and viewpoints and stuff like that. But like I said, it comes down to preference and what exactly do you want in your ball player. I think what I will say, as far as LeBron, I think that. Hold on one second. Okay, excuse me for that. But one thing I will say about LeBron is that if I was going to start a team, and I needed a person who was gonna be a facilitator, he's right up there. I mean, he's right behind guys like MJ. I mean, no, MJ, Magic Johnson. Excuse me, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, guys like Jason Kidd, Steve Nash. LeBron is a great facilitator. He's very tall. He can see the floor. He's great in transition. That's one thing I will say about LeBron. He's a great transitional player. So moving up and down the court, being that he's so big and strong and fast, he commands a lot of attention on offense and defense. That's one thing I will give LeBron credit for. And like I said, he's definitely in my top 15. He just misses the mark with guys like him and Will Chamberlain. Of being in my top 10. Dr. J, of course, is another honorable mention. But there's no doubt about it that he is, one of the best talents that has entered the league. I just don't have him in my top 10. Top 15, top 20, absolutely. I think he's very talented. But when it comes to winning, I don't think he has that winning mindset. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I didn't want to make this a LeBron video. That's not what it's about. But I know how popular he is. So I just wanted to really clarify on why, I don't have him ranked as highly as a lot of other people do. But like I said, that's me. That's it's what my preference is, And maybe you might prefer LeBron and you might have him as number one. Like I said, nothing wrong with that. You might have Kareem as number one, Bird, Duncan, Olajuwon, Shaq, Wilt, Dr. J. Doesn't matter. Whoever you have as number one, it is what it is. But that's really all I wanted to say. I didn't really get a chance to get out everything. I got out most of what I wanted, but I just wanted to clarify and finish that. But to me, it's always fun looking back and comparing players and stuff like that. So it is what it is. But basketball is the fun game, a fun sport, of course. And yeah, that's really my take on this. So what I'm about to do is I'm gonna play another game. This time I'm not gonna use my profile, because I want to save. This is Hold the Court. Now, unfortunately, unlike Street Volume 2, you can just pick a court and you could play without any records being shared or stuff like that. In this game, you can't do that. So for this game, Hold the Court is its own mode, even when you unlock everything. So you have to how do you say it? So I can't, if I go into a profile, it's gonna count as progress to completing the game. So I'm just gonna go in, no record, no anything, and I'm just gonna play with my my favorite franchise, the Lakers. And I'm gonna do my thing with Shaq and Kobe, and like I said, I just wanted to give another breakdown of everything. Whoever's your number one, nothing wrong with that. It is what it is. Just I just hope you have facts, and you understand how to really rank and stuff like that. I would hope so. I'm not the and another thing, my basketball knowledge is, I would say it's above average, but like I said, I'm still learning the game. I'm still learning. I'm still looking at games and older players and stuff like that. So it's just my opinion on, and my top 10 could definitely change within more time as I get to understand the game a little bit more, and I understand all the ins and outs and stuff like that. Yeah, my top 10 could definitely change. But as of now, my top 10 in the last video, that's who I have. And if you didn't watch that video, I'll just say my top 10 here. So I have Michael Jordan at number 1. Number 2, I have Kareem, that's out of respect. Number 3, Bill Russell, that's out of respect. Number 4, I have Magic Johnson. Number 5, Larry Bird. Number 6, Tim Duncan. Number 7, Hakeem Olajuwon. Number 8, Shaquille O'Neal. Number 9, Kobe Bryant. And finally, at number 10, Isaiah Thomas, the one that played on the Pistons, who led that infamous Bad Boys team. So yeah, like I said, that's my top 10, and you know, if you rock with that, then it is what it is. If you disagree or agree, you know, that's not a problem. But that's my preference, and you know, you can watch my full breakdown on why in the very previous video. So let's get right into the matchup.
Who you gonna run with, player?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm gonna go with my boys, the LA Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Shaq, Kobe, and D Fish. So we're gonna hit up Route 66. Dominate the competition out there.
Who's your three gonna be, player?
Alright, so they have Danny Fortson in the middle. Down below is Deshaun Stevenson. And right behind Danny Fortson is Keon Dooling. So, not a particularly good top three. But for this mode, the more you win, the harder the competition is. So, you know, the more you win, you'll see guys like Tim Duncan, Jason Kidd, stuff like that. But in the early on, they just throw in, you know, three not really particularly skilled players, and then you work your way up. Then you see more of the top talent later on as you win. But just gonna get a little default game in. And like I said, I hope you all enjoy. It's good to be back, you know. And if you want, you know, feel free to write anything in the comments, whether you agree, disagree, or otherwise. But anyway, yeah, you see it? Shaquille O'Neal looking good with the dunks. He got the power and the blocks. So we're going to go with O'Neal, my man Kobe Bryant, and of course my man Fish and Chips, D Fish.
Oh yeah, I'll meet y'all at the court.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to say, you know, basketball is a team sport, you know. So I think teams have to get more recognition than players. So, you know, one of my favorite teams, of course, is the 2000-2001 Lakers. You know, so you know, it is what it is. But let's do it.
Hey there, y'all. Route 66 is the spot today. This game's first to 21 points, but you gotta win by 2. All right, let's check out who we got coming to the stage.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. You fellas ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it. Oh, and we lose the jump ball.
Y'all see that? My man's getting crazy out there.
Yeah, so you know, like I said, basketball is a team sport. You know, that cannot be forgotten above anything. You know, we recognize individual players and their accomplishments and what they were able to do with talent. But don't get me wrong, basketball is a team sport. So teams have to be recognized, you know. And when I think of that 2001 team, you know, I think of guys like, you know, of course, Shaq, Kobe, you know, Derek Fisher, Rick Fox, Robert Horry, Horace Grant. You know, I shout out the whole team. Guys on the bench like Brian Shaw, stuff like that. Ron Harper was on that team. You know, I give the whole team props and credit. So just you know, just understand that with any team sport, you're gonna have to go with the team. You know, that's another thing. Ooh, nice little layup right there. So it's tied up 3-all. Let's go, Kobe. Fade. Ooh. Yeah, it feels good to be back on this game right here. I definitely want to come back to this game when it's time. Oh, get that out of here. Nope. Oh yeah, shot clock violation. Oh, nice pick. And that's money. Hey, D Fish from outside. Oh, give me that. Oh, rip.
Puts it on the wall.
Yeah, give it to D Fish one time. You know what I'm saying? Oh, get that. Nope.
Man, that looked kind of personal to me, man. What he You broke him off a
Let's
little.
give it to the big man, huh? Let's give it to Big Diesel down low. Diesel with the dunk. Yeah, get hyped, Diesel. It's my boy Shaq Diesel right there, son.
Double on the ball right here. Bye-bye. Not this time,
Oh,
my
he
man.
missed. Good rebound for Shaq. Look at Shaq, coast to coast.
Oh, you got him good.
Coast to coast, baby. Oh, we got his joint blocked. Oh,
It's getting crazy out there.
oh man, damn Shaq. Gotta go coast to coast with the brother, guys. Joint blocked.
Dominator.
It's all good. Kobe comes through right there with the basket. After we hit that game break, it's 3-10 right now.
Get up, baby. See ya.
Nope.
Double gap.
Get that out of here. Yeah, good block from Shaq right there.
Y'all up 7.
Ooh, good steal. Yeah, give it back though.
Slip and slide.
No.
Now shit. Change up.
No.
There you
Yeah, let's go, Shaq. I didn't know how that was gonna play out right there.
man off.
Ooh, nice little dunk from Danny right there. It's 4-11. Still up 7. 4-11.
Change up.
D-Fish with the 3. Oh, he can't make it.
Oh, man, he just got shook.
No, we got the ball stolen. Oh, this ain't good. Crap. Nice little steal in the move right there. Deshaun on the break.
Y'all up 6, player.
Kobe to the hoop.
Man off. What?
Ooh,
You gonna let him knock
good steal from Kobe. Getting it done on offense and defense. Fade.
push it up?
No, doesn't go.
Double on the ball.
Damn. All right, nice little dunk right there. Little alley
Y'all
oop.
up 6.
Got the little hookup joint.
Jump out.
Change up.
D-Fish from outside.
Bottom of the net.
Yeah. It's my boy Fish. Fish and chips, boy.
Nice.
Yeah, give me that. Good block.
Change up. Down shit.
Fish from outside. Oh, I thought he was feeling it. Oh, nope.
Oh, man, he just got shook.
Real to real.
Give it up to Kobe.
Yes, sir.
Damn, Kobe.
Oh, baby.
Oh my goodness. Oh, and another thing about Kobe also.
Watch your back, baby.
He's the I think he's the all-time leader in field goals missed. I don't know if it's for the playoffs or if it's for the ooh, give me that. Good steal from Shaq.
Change up.
I think it might be for the playoffs. I'm not sure, but he's the all-time leader in field goals missed, something like that. As well as LeBron, he's the all-time leader in turnovers. I think something like that. I definitely have to research that. As they get a game breaker right here, 17-7. We're gonna hold on to this. Ooh, losing them.
Get it on.
Cyclone.
Make the pass, baby. Nobody's guarding him.
Oh, I don't know what I was doing right there. I could have messed that all up. But D-Fish for the 3. Let's go.
Get up. Man. Now, is that legal? That can't be legal.
All right. At least I ain't give up the 3 though. It's all good.
Y'all got this crowd hype right now.
As they get a point back, it's 6-18.
Breaking you off. Slip and slide.
Ooh, nice block. Get that out of here.
Oh, you gotta take better care of the ball.
Breaking you off.
That's money. From the 3, Kobe Bryant. Yeah, we about to win this one. Good steal right there from D-Fish. With the move, put the moves on. Oh,
Yup, y'all.
get that out of here. Look at Kobe muscling him out the air. Oh, nice steal.
This is game point, y'all.
Yes, it is.
Down.
Give it to Diesel. Kobe to Shaq. Just like in 2000. Let's go. Lakers win.
Oh, yeah. You handed that defeat to them, player.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you see, we get it done on offense and defense. As we blow them out by 14 of them things. That's what I'm talking about.
These players will put their work out there, baby.
Yeah, you already know. Look at Kobe. 6 assists, 5 steals, 9 points. You know what I'm saying? A little something light. He ain't get no block. But it's all good. But yeah, man, that's going to do it for this one. So like I said, you know, everybody's top 10 is different, man. Whoever your preference is, you might prefer athletic guys. You might prefer guys that can shoot. You might prefer guys that, you know, that are skilled offensively and can facilitate. Whatever, listen, whatever your preference is, it is what it is. You know, just have fun with it. That's really all I can say. Because you know, some people value different things. But as far as for the conversation, it's always fun to hear other people's top 10s. But anyway, that's going to do it for this one. Part 2 of the top 10 NBA discussion. Just wanted to clarify a few things and finish everything off on a good note. And finish everything with a win. As you see my boy Kobe with the fro right there. Rest in peace to my boy. As Deshaun had a good game himself. And yeah, that's going to do it for this one. So, thank you all for watching. I definitely appreciate that. It's good to be back also. And definitely stay tuned because I have Bully and Kingdom Hearts coming right up. So, once again, thank you all for watching. I always appreciate that. And I hope you all take care. See ya!